Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. I finally got a mic, and today, like you guys saw in the title, I'm trying out a new thing. And basically, I was just chilling in class in school, and I was like, hopefully I don't say it like 60 times in this video. And I was, thinking, if I owned Warhammer, what would I do? Like if I owned the franchise Games Workshop, of course I'm talking about 40K because that's the Warhammer that I play. Like what would I do, and like what changes would I make? Because I heard a military thing, and it's like the best way to defeat your enemy is put yourself in their shoes and then walk 3 miles or something. And yeah, I was just thinking like, what would I do if I owned Warhammer? And also, a lot of these things I'm going to be talking about, like, they would not work. These are, like, terrible ideas, but they're, like, experiments that I'd, like, want to run, and things that I bring back that would be cool, that I feel like is really interesting. And, of course, I'm not going to be talking about stuff. Like, of course, I can say, yeah, if I owned Warhammer, I'd drop prices by blah, 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 I'm this great businessman. I could just drop prices. But, I mean, I don't know what's going on behind the company thing, so most of these stuff are just going to be, like, according to, I'm just gonna be talking about models and changes I make to them, or like rules and stuff. And yeah, like, subscribe, and let's get into this YouTube video, and thank you for watching. Alright, now I feel like one traumatizing, like, terrible moment that sadly every single Warhammer player has is like, you remember when you first got into Warhammer, you like walk to the shop, you see the coolest thing, like you don't even know the lore to the faction. You probably bought the wrong faction. I bought Blood Angels, and I'm gonna keep it honest with you. I thought that they were Chaos Legion, bro. Like, what? You're telling me they sip blood, but like they swear that they're the good guys? Yeah, no way. Okay, playing piano and like painting's not gonna change my mind. You guys are probably evil. But then I realized that they were good guys, and I got my, like, I'm not gonna lie, I basically just got a tactical squad, but they were like what are they called? I forgot. They were like these, I'm not gonna lie, there was just a tactical squad of Blood Angels. I forgot the name of them. I haven't played a Warhammer game in like a couple months, okay, sadly, but that's like the route most players are going down. But basically, listen, this was when like we knew that a new Blood Angels thing was coming out. Well, I didn't know that, but people knew that, and the people who owned the store, they played Warhammer, they knew that a new detachment thing was going to come out, and they knew that they were going to take out I forgot, they have X's on them. They're Blood Angels, probably like X-Men. That's just what I'm gonna call them. And then new codex came out. They got banned, and it's like, bro, I'm not gonna lie. This is a crazy analogy, but it's like when you had the model and they were good. Well, not really good, but you had them, right? They were your first model, so like they were your first guys who like, yo, this guy just destroyed 1,000 Tyranids, because they're the only guys, so you have nothing else to compare them to. You like spend so much time with them, and I got so bonded with them, bro. And then as time went on and I got more Warhammer models, it's like I spent less and less time playing them. But now that I think about it and I think back, I just like, I miss and I love the times that I spent with my Warhammer models. And I'm not gonna lie, I just bring back the 10-man tactical squad. I'm not gonna lie, bro. It's not even meta relevant, or like even like not even the guys who don't play meta have them. But it's like, bro, they're just so beautiful. And on top of that, I'd probably just bring back, like, not bring back, but I'd try out these plates thingies. I wouldn't put them in competitive though. I would just bring them like, hey, if you're playing on the side non-competitive Warhammer, just use these guys. Just use this plate to like hold all your guys, so that you don't have to worry about just moving them one by one, just less of a hassle. But then you have to worry like, yeah, but look at that thick half-inch outline, does that count? And it's like but I feel like it's more of an easy use thing, but it's up to you. And it's like you can also like change the thing, so this probably wouldn't really be a good ad. But what I also would do is I'd change how models are, because some models are like, listen, I like how they updated the scale, right? To have the scale where it's like, okay, so the guard are like taller, but then the Space Marines, the Primaire Space Marines, are way bigger, right? And then these Primaire Space Marines are holding weapons, and the scale that they have the models at is like this huge weapon that guy on the front is holding with one hand is literally the size of a weapon that like one of my Terminators have. Like, he's basically the size of a machine gun. And like in the lore, I'm pretty sure that this is like, it's holding like one of those missiles that you see on a jet. And by the way, jets are huge, okay? Jets, I don't know why jets seem so small, but they're like absolutely huge pieces of machinery. and he's just holding it with one hand. And then look at the other guys, they're doing the same pose, they're like holding it two hands, they're not even like squatting to shoot them. It's either these guys just aren't like planning on shooting, or these guys are just like insane. It's like, bro, these other guys need Terminator armors to wield these like tools that are smaller and most likely less powerful than the ones that you're wielding. So no way, I'm changing these. You guys better be like on like the floor, whole body, just holding it up. Okay, probably not that, maybe just like a squat, or at least like a kneel stance, bro, because I don't know how strong you are. Okay, these guys in Terminator armors are struggling to hold smaller weapons, and you're just holding this with one hand. Yeah, no way. I feel like this was done really wrong, and that's probably only with this model. The rest are probably fine. Another problem I feel like with Warhammer is, like, I'm gonna be honest, if you're not playing Space Marines, I'm a Space Marines player. I'm gonna be honest. If you're not playing Space Marines, you're not getting any love. You're getting at most 3 units every year. And even if you're like a army that's popular like Guard, bro, you gotta play Cadian or Kriegsman, which is gonna cost you a good $1,000 for Kriegsman, okay? And I would probably just show more love to, you know, cool little side factions. Like, look at this guy. This guy's awesome, you know. Maybe, you know, give them some armies instead of just, you know, just Space Marines every single year. I'd probably try and add these guys in. I know that these guys are meta relevant, but be honest, who plays competitive Warhammer 40k, okay? Or at least, who can actually keep up with the armies, because they like change every day of, you know, competitive Warhammer 40k. I understand why Space Marines are so popular, because it's like, oh yeah, that guy's just a stormtrooper that's like really big. Man, they really make the stormtroopers huge now. But like, side armies are cool now. Like, look at these guys. These guys are cool, you know. You could put them in 1 or 2 times, or maybe have them like, I don't know. But I feel like a big problem with Warhammer is that most of these guys aren't getting armies that are like Chaos Space Marines. Like, unless you get the combat patrols, we're most likely just buying the introductory set, and we're just growing those armies, and we're never getting like these other armies until we're like 5-6 years into Warhammer, which there just aren't much fans that make it that long. Another thing I do is I just show love to the guys at the Warhammer subreddit that are like building terrain. I think that this terrain is awesome. I saw this one thing, it's like a couple who builds this terrain, and I built something like this, but the proportions were way off. I was like sketching it on a school Chromebook. I felt like Iron Man though. I felt like I was doing so much. It's like, yes, this is gonna go here, blah blah blah, and like, yeah. But I feel like you can just, you know, bring back some beginner terrain pieces like this, even though they might not fit most boards, and then we can like slowly work up into having the community like, you know, build stuff like this. Because look at this guys, I searched up, guys, I'm pretty sure that this is made out of cardboard, because I searched up cardboard Baneblade, and this is what showed up. Okay, so if it's like an actual model, then like my bad, okay? Please don't rip me in half in the comments. I that tends to happen a lot, guys. Just like, I make a mistake and then guys like, rah! But no, I'm just kidding. I love my community. They're really great. I actually like really appreciate them. But you know, let me know if I'd be, you know, a great guy. You know, put me at the head of Games Workshop. I promise I won't crash. And then let me know if it's just like, yeah, terrible ideas, man. But you know, at least subscribe. If you're gonna say terrible ideas, you know, throw a rotten tomato at me, at least subscribe. Think about it. You know, maybe just give me a like, throw some change into my cup, unless you're just gonna like spit, puh, terrible idea, get off YouTube. And yeah, like, subscribe. My bad if my mic's loud. I'm trying out this new mic, so yeah.